That's too bad. I will teach you all you need to know about marketing in one slide. You don't need to know anything else about marketing if you understand this next slide. Okay, this is the holy grail of marketing. I have saved you $25,000 in mission statement creation. Now I'm going to save you $100,000 in MBA. There are two axes on this graph. The vertical axis is your ability to provide a unique product or service. The horizontal axis is the value of that product or service to the customer. As you might suspect, this is going to be a 2x2 matrix. And I'll take the suspense away. We're going to end up high and to the right. Surprise, surprise. Let's go through the other corners first. In one corner, where you have great value to the customer, but you're not doing something unique, there you will always compete on price. Not such a bad place to be. At least you're creating something of great value. But you'll be competing on price. Dell made a lot of money here. It's a margin pressure business. The second place is where you create something of no value to the customer. Luckily, you're the only person doing it. There, you're just stupid. You are just plain stupid. Only you're doing this stupid thing. The next corner is even worse. That's the .com corner, because in that corner, not only are you producing something of no value to the customer, there are 16 other companies that VCs have funded to do the same stupid thing. This is a picture of dog food. Because I don't know about you, but remember when there were like 16 ways to buy dog food online? Every one of them, curve jumping, paradigm shifting, patent pending, SQL-based, Google AdWord optimized, P2P thing. Geez, just buy dog food online. There's only one problem with pets.com, mypets.com, epets.com, ipets.com, lastminutepets.com, induspets.com, you name it. There's only one problem. Yes, you could disintermediate. Maybe that was Julie Wainwright. Yes, you could disintermediate the stupid pet food store that had this analog presence, brick and mortar. There's only one problem. Sure, by taking this store out of the equation and being a digital store, you could reduce prices. The problem with it is that dog food weighs so damn much that the shipping and handling of the dog food costs more than the discount you could give. Hence, it had no value. That's the .com corner. The corner you want to be in is over here. It's high and to the right. It's where you have a unique product, and only you can do this product, and it is of great value to the customer. My example is Fandango. Fandango is an online movie ticket buying service. As I told you, I have 4 children. We love to go to movies. And you know, when we go to the opening show of Mission Impossible, we need to know before we go that we have a ticket. Because when you put 4 kids in a minivan, that takes 20 minutes. You don't want to get to the theater and see there's a line and it's sold out. You want to know before you go. Fandango enables you to print the ticket at home. High value. And in Northern California anyway, the only way you can get this ticket is Fandango. So I'm telling you, this is the holy grail of marketing. Every entrepreneur should understand this. If you're an engineer, you need to create the product that is unique and of great value to customers. If you're the marketing person, you need to be able to convince your customer that this is true. You need to be high and to the right. Yesterday, you heard Arnold Schwarzenegger talk, political speaker. I'll give you a political analogy. You want to be successful as an entrepreneur? From a marketing perspective, you need to be like our president, George W. Bush, high and to the right. Seventh thing. The seventh thing is you need to follow what I call the 10-20-30 rule. I have this thing called Meniere's disease. Meniere's disease has 3 symptoms: hearing loss, tinnitus, which is a constant ringing in my ear, and sometimes I get dizzy or vertigo from this inner ear affliction. Medical science has tried to figure this disease out. They think it may be too much salt in your diet, too much retention, too much caffeine. That's why I don't drink too much Mountain Dew. Too much stress, allergies. There's a bunch of theoretical medical reasons. I've tried to cure it with all of these, controlling all those factors. I will tell you, though, I have another theory about what causes Meniere's disease. I am a venture capitalist. By definition, it means that I have to listen to pitches day in and day out. And day in and day out, entrepreneurs come to me and they pitch me, and they have 60 slides in a pitch. And in that 60 slides, they're convincing me that all they need is 1% of the market, that they have first mover advantage, that they have patents pending, that they have a unique, proven team with a proven technology in a proven market. Every one of them, whether it's for shrimp farming, fabless semiconductor, social networks, every one of them says that. And because I have to listen to such crap, I have a ringing in my head. I'm going deaf and I get dizzy. So before there's an epidemic of Meniere's disease in the venture capital industry, I came up with the 10-20-30 rule. This is the 10-20-30 rule. You should have 10 slides in your PowerPoint pitch. 10. Not 50. I don't care if you have curve jumping, paradigm shifting, P2P, Google AdWords, social network, optimized, SQL-based way to sell dog food online. 10 slides. That's all we can handle. Those 10 slides you should be able to give in 20 minutes. You may have a 1-hour meeting, but you're using a Windows laptop. It's going to take you 40 minutes to make it work with the projector. All right? 20 minutes. And the smallest font you should use is 30 points. You see 20, 14, and 12. You should use 30 points for 2 reasons. First, the kind of people you're pitching to looks like that. The second reason is by having a 30-point font, you can put a lot less text. This forces you to actually know your presentation and just put the core of the text on your slide. If you need to put 8 points or 10 points fonts up there, it's because you don't know your material. If you start reading your material because you don't know your material, the audience is very quickly going to figure out that you are a bozo. They're going to say to themselves, this bozo is reading his slides. I can read faster than this bozo can speak. I will just read ahead. If you don't buy that 30 points is the right font size, I will give you an algorithm. Give you an algorithm. Find out who the oldest person is in the audience, divide his or her age by 2. That's your optimal font size. Okay? Unless you're pitching to 16-year-olds, don't use the 8-point font. The 8th thing is to hire infected people. Hiring infected people means that you hire people who not only have work experience, educational background, but love your product. Most people only consider 2 factors: work experience, educational background. I suggest you consider a third. Are they infected with the love of the product? This means you need to ignore the irrelevant. Sometimes it's irrelevant that they have this background. Sometimes it's irrelevant that they don't have this background. There are 2 diamond rings in this picture. This is because I come from the jewelry business. I have never taken a computer class in my life. I am living proof that you can fool some of the people most of the time. So, ignore the irrelevant. I never took a computer class. I was in the jewelry business when Apple recruited me. Can you imagine the HR person who went to Steve and said, listen, let's hire this guy. He's down in LA. He's never taken a computer class in his life. He has a psych degree from Stanford, and that was the easiest major he could find at Stanford. He's been schlepping diamonds for the last 5 years. Why don't we make him evangelist for our new software platform? That's what they did. I was successful because I loved Macintosh. When I saw Macintosh, the clouds parted, angels started singing. It was a religious moment in my life. The second point is you need to hire better than yourself. A players do not hire A players. A players hire A+ players. B players hire C players. C players hire D players. And D players hire E players. If you start hiring B players, you're going to wake up one day and you'll be surrounded by Z players. That's what we call the bozo explosion. Fight the bozo explosion. The third point is you apply the shopping center test. The Stanford Shopping Center test works like this. You go to Stanford Shopping Center, you see a job candidate. The job candidate has not yet seen you. Let's say you're 50 feet away. At this point, you have several possible reactions. I can just go straight over there, say hello, hi, how are you? I'm glad you're interviewing. We're going to kick ass in our company. I hope you join our company. That's one reaction. Second reaction is Stanford Shopping Center isn't that big. If I get face-to-face with her, I'll say hello. Third reaction is I'm going to get in my car and drive to Valco. If you don't have the first reaction of seeing that person and saying, man, I got to go over there because I really like her, I liked him. If you don't have that reaction, don't hire the person. I know, you're running out of time.
More minutes.
What are you going to do? Not invite me back?
No.
So,
All right.